Hey, Albie Buzz. Quick question for you. How far would you be willing to go to save a little girl? Would you go through multiple trials and multiple tests? Well, that's what Superman does in this book, Superman Up in the Sky by Tom King. Let's take a look, guys. All right, so this is Superman Up in the Sky, written by Tom King and drawn beautifully by Andy Kubert. Got this also signed by Tom King himself. So we basically start out just like any other typical day for Superman, destroying a robot. And at one point, he ends up meeting up with Batman, who Batman tells him, hey, there's a little girl in the hospital, go talk to her. Basically, Batman saying, like, I'm not good with kids, you are, which is ironic considering all the Robins, but basically, Superman goes to this girl, and he tells her that her friend Alice was actually captured by a bunch of aliens. And he asks, where did he take the little girl? And she said, up in the sky. So we go for a nice montage of like Superman doing different deeds and talking about possibly saving this girl. He's not exactly sure if he should do it yet because it does seem like such a long shot because she's so far in space and so far on the other side of the galaxy that they don't know if it's possible. But Superman just can't get over the fact that it's like this one little girl is kidnapped and probably scared and alone. And he goes to talk to Lois about it, and Lois basically says, hey, it's you. You gotta do this. So the first stop that he makes is he actually goes to the planet with Adam Strange's planet to talk about the Zeta beams that possibly took her on Rand. Excuse me, the planet Rand. Duh, should know that. So yeah, he goes to Rand. He goes to Rand to see if he could possibly detect where she went, trying to trace the past Zeta beam. Even though, of course, this guy says it's actually impossible. Well, not for Superman. So yeah, like this is like a really cool story, and I like some of the moments that happen in here, like. Specifically, one of the things that's going to happen throughout this book is while Superman is going on this journey, he's going to have to go through all these like different trials as he's like making his journey through. So like one issue deals with him having to fight this guy named Mito, who's actually a mercenary trying to stop Superman from getting to where he needs to go. And the whole issue is great because the whole issue is just showing how Superman is never going to give up, no matter what it takes. Even without his powers, this guy could take him down easily. Superman is not going to go down, and the guy finally tires out, and he actually ends up throwing the fight because he knows Superman's not going to go down. It's really cool. It actually kind of reminds me of the Muhammad Ali special. So, like, that's a nice callback to that. And then we get this one issue where he meets up with a couple of other aliens. Not the evil ones that kidnapped the girl, but these nicer ones. But yeah, man, I freaking love this story. Like, this story to me is like the epitome of why Superman is like one of the best characters and my second favorite superhero. You all know who the first is. I'm not going to say it. So we get that issue, and then we get this other issue where Superman is now, this is probably one of the best issues of the book, where he's in this, like, facility where he's trying to see if he can make a call to Lois. But, of course, again, he's on the other side of the galaxy, so there's different ways to get messages from, like, different planets and all that. And one of the things that Superman has to do is he has to wait. He has to be patient. The problem is that as he's being patient, he's seeing all these visions of what could possibly happen without him there. Like, for example, there's a here's this image that he sees of Lex shooting Lois. Or like a plane going down, he can't catch it. And basically what I could sum up this issue as is, this is basically what Superman had to weigh in the DMV. And it's just him being so patient and having to deal with, like, regular, average Joe human stuff. It's fantastic. Like, he's just trying to plead his case, and this one receptionist alien person is just constantly saying, name, Superman, with an E. Superman. And I love this because it really is just Superman testing his patience. And he goes, 1 more hour, I swear. Ma, Pa, truth, justice, the American way, I don't care. I'm going to go out that door, take this whole damn planet, and throw it in the blackest hole. And we're just continuing to see these images of Lois's possible death with him not being there. All this is going on, Superman dealing with patience, and then finally, of course, he does get a hold of Lois. And he's only able to talk to her for a couple minutes because Lois gets swapped with, like, Daily Planet work. But, yeah, basically, he got the call, and Superman dealt with something that we all have to deal with every day. Dealing with bullshit and patience, and dealing with stuff like the DMV and all this other real-life stuff that we gotta deal with. And we get this cool war issue where him and Sam Rock end up teaming up for a bit. And then we get this issue. So, actually, what's cool about this one is that this is actually a story told by the girl Alice. This issue is from her perspective. And basically what it is it's Superman and Flash having a race. Like they always do. The thing is, though, is that you find out is that Lex Luthor betted on Superman. And he specifically betted on him that he would donate money to charity. So what Lex wanted to do is Lex basically knows that, oh, Flash could beat Superman. So I'm going to bet Superman. And not only is Superman going to lose, but he's going to blow this money for charity. What a piece of shit. But that's the villain Lex is. So he's willing to do this. So okay. For the instances of this one story, I will allow that Superman beats Flash in a race for this one time. Because Superman knows now, because he heard it through a superhero, he knows what's going on. So Superman is now determined that he has to be Flash. And could he easily probably just tell Flash, like, hey, Flash, this is what's going on. Can you, like, just throw the race for me? No. He's going to do it on his own. He's going to do no matter what he can do, and he ends up being Flash. Really, really cool issue. And I like hearing it from the girl's perspective. And where she goes. She goes, and there's nothing anyone can do about it ever. But Superman. And literally this whole book is just this little girl cradling her Superman doll, waiting for him to save her. And then we get this interesting issue that deals more with Clark's psychology a bit, where Superman and Clark end up splitting up into two. So we get to see them split into two, but more specifically, we get to see Clark representing his human side and Superman representing his Kryptonian side. And the Superman version is basically just constantly saying, like, all right, I'm going to leave you here now. There's no point, blah, blah, blah. Like we have other things to do. And of course, Clark, the human side, is just like, but what about Alice? And it's funny because one of the things that's funny about this is that the Superman side knows that he's wrong because he constantly keeps saying he's going to leave, but he doesn't leave. And even it gets to the point where Clark's like, just go. You said you're going to leave. Just go away. And then they finally do decide to figure out a way to merge back together, which of course they do. And that leads us to the next story, where he supposedly makes a deal with Darkseid. I won't give too much away into that because I don't want to give away the entire story. But yeah, that's how determined Superman is, that he will even go so far to make a deal with Darkseid. But I won't give away the twist for that. But yeah, overall though, this is a fantastic story. Probably one of my favorite Superman stories of all time. Probably second behind Up, Up, and Away, which is a story I'll review one day. But eventually the climax leads into that while Superman is going to save the little girl, these aliens that kidnapped Alice are now invading Earth. So basically the aliens got what they wanted, which is Superman out of the way. And eventually it does lead into Superman saving Alice. And we get these next couple of issues where they go on a journey back to Earth. And probably one of the best issues is where Alice is just constantly asking Superman questions. And Superman is answering them perfectly fine, not getting annoyed at all. And it probably has one of my favorite lines in the book. He goes, where she asks, okay, if you and Batman fought, who would win? The Joker. I'm serious, for real. Who would win? Batman. For real? For real. Aren't you stronger and faster and you have laser eyes and he doesn't? Yes. So you would win. No, he would win. Do you even know what you're saying? I do. How would he win? Superman goes, I let him. What? Why? And this is my favorite line in the whole book and probably one of my favorite things Superman has ever said. If you knew Batman, you know it mean a lot to him. And then, of course, it does end where he does save the girl. And it ends in probably one of the best lines ever where the girl goes, you're Superman. Yeah, so that's Superman Up in the Sky. A really, really fantastic story. Highly recommend, especially to Superman fans and even not Superman fans, just comic fans in general. I think it's just a really great story, simple story, fun story. Shows like the trials and the tribulations what Superman can do, and really shows like why he is one of the best heroes, because he's so determined to save this one girl. He will do anything and never give up. And I think it's a great lesson. And I think Tom King did a fantastic job with this book. But yeah, highly recommend it. Anyway, guys, of course, subscribe to the Young Buds Cafe, and I'll talk to you guys later. See ya.
If you're looking for great deals on collected edition comics or manga, we recommend shopping at panelboundcomics.com. They offer free shipping on orders over $30, plus bundled discounts to help you save even more. And if you're shopping from Europe or the UK, comicsbugle.com offers free EU shipping and a rewards program for regular buyers. Don't forget to use our discount codes at checkout.